皆様こんにちは。アスクグループ株式会社リーンフェーズの阿部と申します。本日は CatDV で効率的なメディア資産管理というテーマでお話しさせていただきたいと思います。まずはじめにメディア資産管理という言葉を初めて聞く方もいらっしゃるかと思いますので、簡単にご説明したいと思います。メディア資産管理はメディアアセットマネジメント、その頭文字を取ってMAMとも言われています。現在、私たちの周りには動画があふれています。特に最近はリモートで何かをするということも増えて、ますます動画の活用は増えています。作成した映像や画像、音声のデータは皆さん編集用や記録用などに保存しておくと思います。ただ、書類もそうですが、膨大な量のデータになるので、ちゃんと管理できていないと使いたいときに見つからないなど大変なことになります。また、よくあるのですが、会社のサーバーにデータはあるけども、保存した本人しか保存場所を知らないので、他の人が使いたいのに見つけられない場合などですね。メディア資産管理とは、要するにメディアアセットと呼ばれる映像や音声データを管理するシステムのことです。弊社が取り扱っている CatDV というのは、このメディア資産管理システムの一つです。サーバーに保管されている大量のメディアデータをリストにして、効率的に検索、使えるようにしてくれます。イメージとしては、たくさん内容がある本の目次を作ってくれるといった感じです。メディアの一つ一つのファイルには、メタデータと呼ばれる詳細な情報が紐付けられています。CatDV では、このメタデータと呼ばれる情報をもとに、キーワードで検索できるようになります。さらに、CatDV の中でユーザーが新たにユーザー定義フィールドを作成することで、より詳細な絞り込み検索が可能になります。CatDV ですが、機能によっていくつか分かれています。メディア資産管理システムを初めて聞く方には分かりにくいかもしれませんが、簡単にご紹介いたします。CatDV システムは、一番上の CatDV サーバーを中心に、画面左端の CatDV デスクトップクライアント、その隣の CatDV ウェブクライアント、一つ飛んで CatDV ワーカーで構成されています。CatDV サーバーというのが動画のデータや情報が保管されている場所です。CatDV デスクトップクライアントというのがユーザーが使うソフトウェアで、ユーザーの方はこのデスクトップクライアント上で作業します。CatDV ウェブクライアントというのはデスクトップクライアントと同等の機能をウェブブラウザで使用するものです。デスクトップクライアントと違ってソフトウェアのインストールが不要ですので、多数のユーザーに展開したい場合はウェブクライアントが向いています。CatDV ワーカーというのは CatDV のワークフローを自動化できるツールです。フォルダを監視して必要な作業を自動で実行するように設定できます。そしてこの4つの機能に加えて CatDV は他のシステムと連動することも可能です。次に CatDV 製品の特徴ですが、メディアの検索と再利用を効率化する優れた性能はもちろん、メディア管理に特化したシンプルな設計になっています。また、外部ストレージと連携できる柔軟性や、世界中での導入実績も多数ありますが、特に CatDV の特徴といえるのが、メディア資産管理システムの中では比較的低コストで導入できる点です。ここからは3本の製品紹介動画をご覧いただきます。少し技術的な内容も含まれますが、最初の動画は CatDV の概要紹介。次に AI を使って画像や音声を認識する機能をご紹介いたします。そして最後にクラウドインジェストと呼ばれるメディアアセットをクラウドストレージから CatDV にインポートする機能の紹介です。それではご覧ください。どうぞ。
This year's main CatDV themes are about Cloud First and collaboration. We're releasing CatDV Web 3, our new browser experience, completely redesigned, responsive, tablet and mobile friendly. We're previewing our new player supporting multiple audio tracks and captioning overlays. And then on the automation side, we can now publish metadata, video masters and proxies from existing CatDV systems into remote CatDV servers for distributed workflows with distributed teams and secure media sharing. We already know several customers have this master cat requirement, and this makes the process simple and reliable. CatDV can now ingest from cloud and object storage, for example indexing content already stored on Amazon S3 or Backblaze B2. We've also extended CatDV to be both international and multilingual. Translations are ready in Spanish, Portuguese, French, German and Japanese. Our new project tool automates file and folder creation and naming, which adds another layer of organisation. CatDV's desktop client also continues to grow, now with Blackmagic Raw and Catalina support. Plus, on the creative side, extensions to our Adobe integration let us synchronize content and metadata between Adobe projects and CatDV catalogs. Plus, we've rebuilt and extended a large part of our Avid integration so we can better interoperate or liberate content for those folks that wish to move to other tools. All of these add to CatDV's capability as a platform for media applications, not just MAM/PAM or DAM. Last year, with the addition of our JavaScript APIs and our user experience toolkit, our customers are seeing incredible value from customized CatDV systems in our traditional markets and beyond. For example, who would have thought CatDV would be leading the market in news asset management, both broadcast and online? Some of our largest deployments are tightly integrated into newsroom workflows. We worked with Avid iNews for a while and have a panel integration with Associated Press's ENPS now. For thousands of journalists, CatDV is the search and collaboration front end for millions of news stories representing some of the best journalism in the last 70 years. These workflows let us showcase the great relationships and interactions with some amazing partners: Spectralogic, ScaleLogic, Backblaze, Apple, Telestream, Avid and the Associated Press. We're also unlocking the potential in media archives, digital, analog and film. AI enrichment and speech-to-text make these projects suddenly amazing value. We continue to dominate the sports asset management market too, whether that be traditional esports or gaming. CatDV's new web player supports multiple switchable audio and captioning tracks, which we know is really useful in these sectors. Alongside product improvements, our professional services capabilities continue to grow too. Unlike many products, CatDV does a huge amount out of the box. Adding pro services, customers truly get the best mix of buy versus build. Our partnership with North Shore Automation and close working with our very best Tier 1 partners is delivering amazing results for our customers. As you can see, we have a lot going on. Product and our partners are more capable than ever. Our team is ready and on hand to help our customers reconfigure for remote and home working. Do get in touch if you'd like to know more, or if we can help in any way. www.squarebox.com or sales@squarebox.com will get you in touch with one of the team. We wish you all very good health. Thank you. This cool new AI integration we have with some of the Amazon endpoints. He wrote it, so that's really cool. And in fact, it's part of our API first way of building software, that it really helps to have folks that aren't inside the core product development team developing a whole pile of CatDV capabilities. So that is why Brian has the extraordinaire title for today's webinar.
So let's get started. Let's do a little bit of the transcription first, the speech to text. So here we've got a clip of a U.S. president speaking.
Develop a long-term Gulf Coast restoration plan as soon as possible.
And we've already run the English transcript here. So what you can see, and the controls that we actually have for this are here. So we can choose a dialect, not just the language, not just English, but whether it's US English. We can even recognize things like Indian English. So we can choose the dialect that we're transcribing and which clip markers we'd like to put that transcription into. But right over here, the resultant transcript is pretty impressive, comes through pretty clearly. But then from there, since we've got it, we can now display that, as Dave mentioned, as an overlay in the player. So just by choosing English here, I can then come back here.
The plan will be designed by states, local communities, tribes, fishermen, businesses.
So let's apply now some of that translation intelligence to this. Say, with our Server 9 release, of course, you probably already know that we've implemented support for multiple languages in CatDV natively. So now we could have people collaborating from across the globe to where if you want to send this clip to someone who maybe speaks, German instead of English, oh look, I've already got it lined up. You could say, okay, let's translate these clip markers from English to German. We'll run that now. So when we send through a job, it all runs via the worker node, and the translation jobs come back almost instantly. So just like that, now we have an option to display German subtitles in the player as well.
Develop a long-term Gulf Coast restoration plan as soon as possible.
And so that, it only sort of gets cooler as we move to video. Arguably, video recognition is the most exciting and intricate part of this because we can do some really cool stuff. So let's look at some basic examples here. Here's just I was up in Parry Sound, Ontario, and I took this video of some nice water on the rocks. And so you see here, I've just got the one tag on it in this case. And so I've asked for, if we look for what I've asked for, I've said not to allow repeat matches because across a video, we're scanning every 500 milliseconds on the video. And you might not want to see every single instance of a thing on the video, but just to know that it's in the video. So this gives us it keeps us lean in terms of the amount of metadata we're adding while still making that metadata useful. And so just to review these options, when you retrieve a video recognition job, you specify the minimum confidence. What's the minimum interval between new markers? So if you want to see some stuff every 2 seconds or every 5 seconds, you can specify that. Again, whether you allow repeat matches, we can choose to show the confidence or not show the confidence in line with the markers. So in this case, we saw multiple things, so we calculate an average confidence of 96%. That's pretty good. So what do we have here? This is a classic manatees clip where we maybe didn't call it manatees in the past, but it looks like Amazon picked up manatee. And you can look at things like the confidence in some cases, where maybe the ones with the higher confidence are more accurate. What do we got here? Fish, shark. This is I guess it's a bit of a blurry clip, isn't it? At one point I thought it saw elephant on here, but let's keep moving. Oh, that's where it saw elephant. So in this case, I believe I've asked it to draw a bounding box. So if I click here where it says horse, we get a little box around the horse.
CatDV is famous for its flexibility, with the capability to handle on-premise, cloud and hybrid workflows across multiple locations. We're extending the platform to handle additional native cloud capabilities. We know lots of our customers have media stored in the cloud, but don't have an easy way of adding, searching and cataloguing it to their CatDV systems. We have therefore added Cloud Ingest into CatDV. Cloud Ingest allows you to automatically index cloud storage and import those assets into your CatDV system. On the right, I have my Amazon S3 bucket, and on the left, my CatDV system. I've created a new catalogue called Media on S3, which is where I will import my assets to. It is the worker component of CatDV that will index the cloud storage. When I start my CatDV worker, it will start importing assets and then creating thumbnails and proxies. It downloads a copy of the original media to a local cache, which it uses for analysis and creating the proxy file. CatDV's notification system keeps you updated on progress. The worker can also create and store an MD5 hash of the content for later use, such as checking the integrity of transfers. The worker node can store these proxies on a local volume or put them back into the cloud. Note the square bracket notation in the media path, showing us that the media is on a remote volume. whereas the proxy is on storage local to the CatDV server. Because it is the worker doing the import, you can use all the powerful tools you're used to. For example, here I've populated the animal metadata field based on the folder the content was in. There are several options for deployment. You could run your server and worker in the cloud, or have an on-premise server and cloud worker. Both of these options would avoid egress fees from your cloud storage. Note that for your cloud worker to talk to your on-premise server, we would recommend setting up a secure VPN tunnel between your server and cloud environment. The CatDV server and worker are also now available as a Docker image, and we talk more about that in another video. Finally, you could have an on-premise server and worker and still index content in the cloud. Let's look at how we would configure our CatDV system to index content in the cloud. The first step is to add my remote volume. In this case, this is my S3 bucket with the media I wish to import. I click the plus icon and give the remote volume a name. In this case, I've called it S3 existing. I pick the file system type, Amazon S3, and then I give it the full URL to the bucket. Once I've done that, I need to add my access key ID and my secret access key. The remote volume is now configured on the worker. Next, I need to create my watch actions. If I add a new watch action, you will notice that there is a new type called Cloud Ingest. This is very similar to a quick folder scan, but works on remote volumes. I need to tell the worker which remote volume to watch, using the square bracket notation. I can specify whether I would like the worker to scan subdirectories or just the root. Here you can see I'm doing some conditional logic to set metadata fields based on the parent directory or bin that the file was found in. Then I set a metadata field to true so that I can trigger the next watch action, which will perform the analysis and create the proxy. In this example, I'm also automatically setting the approval status to ready for approval. Finally, I tell the worker which catalog and production group I want this media to be ingested into. So, like a quick folder scan, this will import the clip records into my catalog. I now need another watch action to analyse the media and create my proxies. In my second watch action, I've created a server query to pick up all the clips which have a metadata field of Cloud Ingest set to true, and I've made sure to check the option to download remote files. I have workflow steps to reanalyze the media. This will extract the detailed metadata about the file, generate the thumbnails, and note I've checked the box to also generate an MD5 checksum. I have another step to build the film strip proxy. This is used by Web3. Note that the proxy route is local to the worker running this job, but this would typically be a shared volume. My next step creates the H.264 proxy using this new star notation, which means take the proxy route from my media store configuration. Speaking of which, let's look at how I've configured my media stores on the server. As you can see, I have two media stores. Local is for my on-premise media, and S3 existing media is my cloud storage. Note the square bracket notation in the original high-res path type. This tells CatDV that the originals are on a remote volume. In the same way that I manage remote volumes on the worker, I can also do so on the server. Here is my existing remote volume that I've already set up. You can see that in this example, although my original media is on a remote volume, I'm storing the proxies and film strips on storage local to the worker, albeit a shared volume. Now that we have checked the media stores are set up correctly, we can go back to the last bit of configuration on my worker. As I said earlier, I'm using the star notation for proxy route here. The worker will take this from the media store. I have another worker step to clear the metadata field that I use to trigger this workflow, in my case, the Cloud Ingest field. My final action is to publish the changes to the server. And that's it. Hopefully this short video has shown you how easy it is to configure your CatDV system to index content in the cloud.
いかがでしたでしょうか。CatDV のご紹介は以上となります。本日ご紹介できなかった部分もたくさんありますので、より詳しい情報は弊社ホームページをご覧いただければと思います。ご視聴ありがとうございました。